Hi, and welcome to day 4 of the CodeClass curriculum tutorials. So today this is going to be a very short video. It's just going to walk you through how to introduce the final project, and then there will be some supplemental videos in case you would like to add images and triangles and different things like that, just to add a little bit extra to your curriculum. So the first thing with day 4 is that we start out with the agenda. So we first have a video, and then review basic concepts is always super important. So you're going to review the stuff that you learned the first, second, and third day, and then introduce and work on your final project will be the next thing. And then also keep in mind that there are going to be those supplemental videos that you can also teach your students if they want to know more for the final project. So here's the video right here. It's super simple. You just click on it. It may not be working because I'm screen recording it, but if you just click on it, then you can make it full screen, super easy. And then for your final project, so we like to give the students a couple of ideas. Some good ones are houses, cars, people, and book covers, just because all of these you can implement triangles, rectangles, text, colors, all those kind of things, which is super important. Keeping in mind that there are going to be some requirements that for the final project, it's good if you have the students meet, just because there are a lot of things that you've covered so far in this curriculum, and you want to see all those being implemented just so you know that your students are learning them. So for example, for the house, you can do the actual base of the house as a rectangle. You can have some windows as circles. You can have a lot of color in the background and the actual house itself. You can even add some images as people, and you can have a triangle roof. Some of those are supplemental things, but it's important that students are getting all of the knowledge of the different things that we want them to learn. Obviously, a car, you can do a box or a rectangle for the actual car, then little circles for the wheels, lots of color. You can add some images if you want, so that's super easy also. And then obviously, if the students have an idea, it's super great to let them take off with that. For example, one time I was in a class teaching, and the students had all made a car and had it animated. So the car went across the screen, and they all had lined up their screens, and the car went across everybody's screen, and which basically means that they'd press start and then stop, and then the next person would press start. So if they have a creative idea, absolutely let them run with it, because that's super exciting. Here are the requirements that we were thinking of. Again, feel free to adjust this, make a copy of this presentation, and add or take things away depending on how much time you have. We require at least some text on the book cover. Obviously, that can be the cover or the name of the book. But if you have something like a house and you don't want to add text to it, tell your student just to put their name at the top, just so that they're still getting that text experience. At least 2 circles, 3 rectangles. Obviously, those are some of the most basic things that they need to know. Those are some of the first and second day lessons. Must be colorful. We've worked a lot with color throughout this curriculum. So we've said at least 3 fills and 2 strokes, which, remember, stroke means the color of the line or the outline of it. And then at least 1 stroke weight, which means that you have one line that's a little bit bigger. And then obviously a background. Some other things you could add to this are triangles, images, and like different weird types of like squiggly lines and that kind of thing. Also, a big thing is animation. So if you want to teach your students animation, which there is a supplemental video available for that. So if you want to teach your students animation, it would be super good to have them implement that in the project, because that's a little bit advanced. If you are a teacher for CodeClass, these are the requirements that we're going to be sticking with. But again, we are going to want you to know that animation, the triangle, the image, all those supplemental things, just in case they ask. So here's some examples that we made. This one right here does not have all the requirements. So this is an example that we tell them, okay, this is a great start, but we're not there yet, so you need more. This one does have all the requirements. You can see it even has the text right here, the little house sign, that kind of thing. So yeah, and then we have more examples. Again, this is not a full example. This would be a full example, so you can tell your students that kind of thing. And that's really it for this video. Again, I encourage you to watch supplemental videos, but day 4 is really about them figuring out their final project and also reviewing your basic concepts. So we really encourage you to go back through and go back to day 2 and go back to day 3, which is on here also. Okay, thanks guys.